My name is Abby Calicut, and have you ever wondered how the impact of daily use of social media affects us? Over half of the people living in the United States alone have and use social media, meaning that it has a severely strong impact on the country. And about 70% of the world's population has social media. So even if you don't have social media, someone you know, whether a family member, friend, or even acquaintance does. As someone who has several forms of social media and knows plenty of others with social media, I've gotten to see firsthand the impact social media has and the way it can change our thinking and lead to more harm than good. This speech will discuss my research done on the impact of social media and the different ways it harms us mentally, physically, and what more specifically leads to social media being harmful. Today I will discuss why social media can be harmful and why we need to be aware. First, I will talk about false perceptions and the effects they have on us. Then I will talk about the mental and physical effects social media has. And then lastly, I will talk about the importance of social skills and relationships that we need to develop. To begin my speech, let's start with the effect false perception has on us as a society. False perception is something that most social media users fall victim to. Since people have control over what they post and see, it allows for easy access to look at people's lives and assume and see all the things that they have and to see that they have the perfect life. According to the pros and cons of social media research from Brown University, what we see on social media affects our self-image, which then leads to seeing how we view our self-worth as not as much. Because everyone on social media seems to have their lives all together because that's what they choose to show and choose to show that they're successful, when really we only see the positives that they choose to put out there. When dealing with self-image issues, it can also make it harder to know that we all have different paths to take and can lead us feeling like we are behind or don't have the right appearance from what we consume on social media. Now that I've talked about the effects of false perception, I will talk about the mental and physical effects social media has on us. Social media is well known for being harmful to your mental and even physical health. According to Social Media Addiction and Mental Health from Stanford Law School, social media has been linked to an increase in depression, anxiety, and psychological distress in multiple studies and research papers. The same website also suggests that mental health disorders are more prominent in adolescents and have also led to an increase in depression and suicide. While mental health is greatly affected, there are also studies that have been done on physical health. According to Social Media Use Tied to Poor Physical Health from the University of Buffalo, a study was done in 2017 on adolescents from age 18 to 24 to look at the physical health problems that came up after social media usage. The results from the experiment ended up showing the more screen time they had, the more somatic symptoms and doctor visits they had. There was also higher levels of chronic inflammation found. With these examples and information on social media, on how social media affects our mental and physical health, I have also personally seen a difference with social media myself. As someone who has social media on multiple platforms, I feel that I can give a good opinion on the way social media affects my mental and physical health. From the times that I've either decided to take a break from social media or even deleted some of the apps, I found that my anxiety gets better and I'm not constantly checking what people are doing and feeling left out. And I'm not stressing out and comparing my life to others. I'm also not sitting around as much, just scrolling on my phone. Now, I'll be talking about how social media affects our social skills and our relationships. While social media affects us individually, it also has a strong impact on us with our social skills and our relationships. Social skills are important and something that we all have to develop and use, whether it's for work or everyday interactions. It is vital for people to socialize with others, and when we spend too much time online, it hurts us because it limits the time that we are out in the world, having the daily interactions that we need. Traditionally, society developed their social skills in person, typically one-on-one. But now with social media and more people being online, that social skills are now being developed through text, phone calls, and FaceTimes. The reason we need actual social interactions is because according to how does social media affect social skills, it allows us to develop social skills like body language, tone, and facial expressions. These skills also help us to understand people better and to have empathy for others. Social media usage can take a toll on people's relationships as well. According to how does social media affect relationships, the more time we spend on social media, the more it takes away from spending good quality time with your loved ones, which ends up hurting relationship satisfaction. Spending time with your loved ones is very important because when you decide to spend your free time on social media and being on your phone instead of your loved ones, you're taking time away from each other that could be spent bonding and building deeper, genuine connections. Now that I have discussed the harmful effects of social media, I'll begin my conclusion and talk about the solutions to this problem. Now that I've talked about the harms of social media and a few different ways it affects us, I want to point out that social media is not completely bad and harmful, just like most things are. But too much of something is what makes it bad and harmful to people. Because social media is honestly a great way to connect with others and provide inspiration. But with that being said, too much of it leads to harm. But there are ways to help reduce social media usage so that we can reduce this risk of harm. Some of the ways were found on tips to help take control of your social media use and improve well-being include spending less time online, tracking your app usage, turning off notifications, and setting specific times to turn off your phone. As social media continues to grow and develop all the time, so will the time we spend on it and the amount of trust we have in it and rely on it, which is why it is important to address the issues and dangers of it now so that we can take an effort to help reduce the risk of harm. Thank you. Are there any questions?